guys, if you can see that in the back, we got some wheels back there. That's because we finally got the right wheel set up on the car. Finally got them to fit. Thanks to some spacers and the right lug nuts and right sizing, offset, tire, everything, we were able to fit 17s. I'm just going over to drop these old wheels off and give you guys a true test run of how these feel. So far it feels really good. Hey, C55 going by. So far it feels really good. Feels very solid. Nothing weird or sketchy. We switched to all square setup. They are all 17 by 8.5. They are offset of 35, which I ran 20 millimeter spacers all around, so it actually makes them about a 15 offset. They are about 17 and a half pounds a piece. And then what else? Tires are 235/45 17s, like I said. And these are Motegi wheels, MR146. They're in Satin Black. So I'll give you guys a good look very soon here. So yeah, be patient. The tires I'm running, they're Achilles ATR Sport 2s. They definitely feel more firm than what I was running on here. I think I had non-kinks on the front and then a Barham tire in the back. The Achilles feel good. They feel sticky. They're definitely a harder compound, but not by much. And I mean, they just got filled up and everything. So once they break in a little bit, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure you guys can hear that, a little bit of squeaking in the back. I don't think that's going to keep happening once I get the tires out, but we'll double check just to be sure. All right, don't mind my grill being out. I'm making my own. Here they are though. So like I said, Motegi 146, and I ended up running a 20 mil spacer in the front. I just got the 20 to be safe. I probably could have got the 15s. You do have to get specific ones for the front on most Mercedes axles because of the hub design is like an inch and a half out. So yeah, you got to check with the wheels, with everything to make sure it's going to fit. These wheels have basically the same center bore all the way throughout, so they worked fine, but the first set of Motegis that you guys saw, the bronze ones, did not at all. So and these ones are 66.56, whatever it is for Mercedes. So I don't need any hub-centric rings or anything like that. I didn't want to have to worry about that, and spacers. So even though it's not that big a deal, I just didn't want to have to worry about it. So, and then here's the rear. And since I ordered the H&Rs for the front that I was going to modify, I ended up just running them in the rear because they were originated for the rears anyways. So there they are for that. Now I need to figure out, I don't know if it's just because I'm sitting on the driveway, but take a look at the other side. There's the old wheels backed up. The other side is like bottomed out. I don't know if that's just because the way I'm at on the driveway. I thought it was because of the wheels sitting in there, but don't tell me my shock just bottomed out. Here's the fit front and rear. So it's I mean, it's poking out a tiny bit, nothing crazy on the top. It looks good on the bottom, poking out like that. So like I said, you probably could have run 15 millimeter spacers and gotten away with it for the size, but I just went with 20 to be safe. And let's go ahead and get out of here. Moment of truth. Well, not really. Everything's working fine. I'm not exactly sure why that rear right is sitting like that. So I guess we'll see if it evens out. See if I have any rubbing on the way home. I can already tell right now, without the wheels in the back of the car now, definitely feels lighter. Feels a little more agile. These wheels that's a big chunk of unsprung weight. Even with the spacers were no more than like a pound a piece. Especially the front ones were super light. So even with the front spacers being 1 pound a piece, all 4 corners, so that's 4 pounds right there. That's less than the difference between one of the wheels and the Motegi wheels, one of the stock wheels and the Motegi wheels. These stock wheels are around, from rumor and from, you know, trying to feel them out, about 25, 26 pounds. The Motegis are 17.5 pounds per wheel. With the tires on there, tires are probably 25 pounds a piece. For all the tires that were on each of them are 42.5 pounds a piece, if I'm doing it real quick, for the 17.5 pound wheels and 25 pound tires. So the stock ones are 25 and 25, so they're closer to 50, you know, somewhere in the 50, 52 range probably for each one. So throughout all 4 corners, if that's a difference of 10 right there, so 10, 20, 30, 40 for all 4 corners, that's about 40 pounds of weight saved. And that's unsprung weight, so that acts a little bit differently. And if you want to minus the 4 pounds for the spacers, about 36 pounds of saved weight. So there's a lot of different calculations that I've seen on the internet and from people I know. Some guys think it's like represents 4 pounds per 1 pound. I've seen it up to 10 pounds per 1 pound. I don't think it's that much, but I would say somewhere in between that. It probably, you know, acts more like you know, that 5 or 6 per pound for unsprung weight. Yeah, it definitely, just from driving right now, I can definitely feel a difference. It just feels lighter. It feels lighter on its feet. Yeah, so far it feels really good. It feels very planted. I haven't really pushed it yet, so I don't know everything, but just from driving on the road right now, it feels very solid. Oh man, I can definitely tell acceleration is a little quicker, especially on that freeway. I was only like maybe a quarter throttle. Got up to speed really fast without even trying. I definitely can feel the difference of the weight right there. And we'll see, this is pretty smooth, but there are some spots coming up in a couple miles where there'll be some bumps. Right there is a solid bump. Nothing in the back. Don't hear anything. That was a good one. I don't hear anything in the back. Yeah, so far so good. I'm very curious to see once I get home if that spring or that right rear corner has leveled itself out. I'm not getting any weird vibrations or shakiness. I'm at 77 miles per hour right now. I'm not getting anything weird, nothing weird in the steering wheel. I know a lot of people are concerned about that running spacers. It really depends on the spacer you have. I really don't like the ones that bolt to the hub and then have studs on them. I just don't think that's a good design. I mean, I know tons of people run them and they do wheel bolt pattern conversions all the time. That's why a lot of people run them, just to give a more common bolt pattern so you can run different sets of wheels. So I get it, but I'm not a fan of those personally. I just feel like you're throwing too much into the mix. You're giving a possibility of things going wrong at a higher rate. So, and I've heard horror stories with those, so I stay away from those. So I think with the spacers that are hub centric, that just slide over the studs, I feel like those are pretty safe, man. Those are, there's the clamping force that's pushing them against. It's not being held on by separate bolts and all that stuff. It's not adding. You're basically adding in like 8 bolts instead of 4 or 5, or 10 instead of 5. So with the spacers that I'm running right now, being hub centric and everything, and being the same hub bore as the wheels, I just feel like I took away all of the extra possibilities of risk that I could have thrown in the mix had I gotten ones that weren't hub centric or weren't the same hub bore as the wheels, etc. So yeah, like I said, no vibration, no shaking, nothing weird that I'm feeling so far. Yeah, so I guess that gets rid of that worry for some people, at least in this scenario. I'm gonna run these for a while, and I'll give updates on them as I go. But so far, so good. I know it's a very short time span, but I think if anything came up immediately, you would know for sure that these aren't a good scenario to run. So far so good is a good start. And we've gone over the bad bumps that I've been talking about. We're at the spot where I was talking about. and nothing bad so far. Just hearing the tires go over them, no squeaks, no weird stuff. Man, I'm impressed. I'm getting out the freeway now. That's a smooth drive. Everything feels really good. Super happy with the way it looks. Tires feel great, and I can definitely feel the change in the weight, the lightness of these new wheels and tires. Everything feels good, man. I'm really impressed, and I'm very happy with just like the breakdown of everything, how everything turned out. I know I had to be patient. It was a few weeks in the waiting. You guys have seen, you know, me mention the wheel setup in a couple videos, and people were asking in the comments, what did you get? But I just didn't want to tell you guys because I wanted to make sure I got something that fit first and wasn't telling you guys something else. If I had said the first set, the first time I got asked, I would have told you guys the wrong wheel that didn't end up working. So, which was the Motegi MR146s, which, yeah, just didn't work. They weren't the right offset, and they were only a 17x8. I kind of regretted after I ordered them going down, you know, even though it's just a ½ inch in the rear. I just didn't want to lose that amount, you know. I could have ran like a 9 or a 9.5 in the rear if I wanted to, but I just couldn't find the right offset that would work for that. So I ended up just running the 17x8.5 and the 35 offset all around. Man, there's a super dope G-Wagon up here. I can't flip the camera around right now, but super dope. I think it's a new one, like a 2020, or it has an updated grill if it's an older one. It looks very small, looks sleek, looks super nice. That's my wife's dream car. I hope to get one for her someday, and for us. I think that'll be a dope family car to have. I have a couple friends who have them, so you know, you got to keep working hard if you want stuff like that. So yeah, a couple years down the road, who knows? I'm gonna try to get a G-Wagon. I know it'd make my wife super ecstatic to have a dream car like that of hers. You know, I've acquired one of my dream cars in the C55, but obviously it's not as expensive as a G-Wagon. So seems like you can get the older generations. The G55 is what I would like. I would love to get a supercharged one, the M113K G55, if I can. Seems like you can get them for around 30 to 40,000 depending on the condition. That was definitely, I think that's a I don't know if you guys saw that in the back right now. I think that was an older gen, but it had the updated front end on it. I don't think that was a 2020 actually. But man, this is a happy day, man. I'm pumped. This is I'm so happy. Like, this is a lot of research trying to figure out what the heck was gonna work with these, what spacer to run, trying to go through the dilemma of not knowing if the spacers are gonna work because of the cap design. I was very close to running it like without the cap, or I was willing to, without the grease cap on the front and doing like an aluminum tape kind of makeshift cap, but I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. I'm just so glad like all this is done. I don't hear any rubber right now. We'll see once I get out of the car, once I park it, see if it has kind of regrounded itself. The car feels level right now. Let's hear. I don't hear anything bad, man. We just went over speed bumps. We'll see if it's replanted itself. Fingers crossed. Everything feels good though. By the way, the front, I was didn't know if the fender wells were gonna get in the way of the 8.5s by the front, but so far so good. When we were testing the turn in the parking lot at Discount Tire, you could tell it barely touched, like on full lock, on the outer portion of the fender well, but nothing to even worry about, like barely touching. And it's just a plastic fender well. It's not gonna do anything if it's barely touching like that. If it was rubbing all the time, I'd be a little worried, but not worried at all the way it is. So man, I just got home. I'm super excited right now. I don't get very emotionally excited or whatever, amped like this, but this gets me excited. It just makes it feel a little more real as the whole process of trying to build this thing for the track and build it for, you know, for quickness and for just the best it can be. I'm excited, man. I feel like the wheels were the first step in that whole ordeal, or kind of not the first step. I've done so much to this car, but a big step that kind of got over the hurdle and trying to find something that would work for the track and everything. So let's go take a look before I finish up the video. So All right, guys, I think we're good. I think it must have just been the driveway or something, but they've evened out. They're the same on both sides, and we're on uneven ground again. So maybe it just needed to get driven and kind of replant itself. It's probably from the wheels sitting in the back. So we're all good there. We're golden. All right, you guys just saw everything is golden. Everything fits. Things have leveled out. It must have just been from the wheels sitting in the back. Everything seems solid, man. I'm so pumped. I will link everything below that I used, the wheels, the lug nuts, the studs, the tires, anything else that I can think of. Everything will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching again. Thank you guys. I'm super pumped. Got some more stuff coming up soon. I'm doing the grill. Like I said, I'm making my own. I'm doing something different. I'm remeshing all the lower valance. And I've just been going through the car and really cleaning up stuff. Definitely want to pull the sunroof out and then have a steel plate welded in. And then I would either wrap the roof or paint it myself. Once I end up getting some race seats, then I'll probably think about pulling the carpets out for sure. But I don't know if it'll happen this summer just because I don't want to go through the work of that and then reinstalling the same seats and everything. You guys have been hearing me talk for a long time in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.